my mentor Bob Proctor played a huge part in the secret, and now I'm top 1% of Bob Proctor's consultants, right? But let me explain what happened, and we'll go into the secret.
Yes.
Right.
Physical chemicals.
Yeah.
Affect the way the mind works, and it alters the mind. So sometimes chemical imbalance in people.
One of my clients, I won't say his name, but he didn't speak to his daughter for 20 years. Now he's built an absolutely amazing business. He's back into contact with his daughter. He sends me messages like, I've just made 30,000 in a day. I've signed a contract for like 130K. It's ridiculous how this material works, right? So he said, you never need the money until you make the decision. He said, when you want something enough, you'll always find the money. Okay.
Crackers find money every day.
Exactly. Right? Subconscious mind feels. So that worry and doubt is on a conscious level. It registers on a subconscious level as an emotion, and that emotion is called fear. It is turned into suppression. We suppress anxiety. Okay. Yeah. That suppression turns into depression. That depression turns into disease. You start to understand on a conscious level. I get it now. Okay. That understanding leads on a subconscious level to the emotion, which is it, right? Yeah. You don't think about money and it falls on your lap. No. You attract ideas because you're on the same vibration as that money in this universe. I don't care if you believe in God, if you're an atheist, there is certain laws that govern this universe, right? One of them is the law of gravity, right? So every time I drop this, right?
This falls.
Yeah, exactly. But the law of attraction is a secondary law. The law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of receiving, the law of cause and effect.
Hi guys, welcome to the Play Doctors podcast. Sorry we've not been active with new episodes for a while. Like I said, we're looking to bring you valuable podcasts with valuable knowledge and valuable content. Today I'm here with Joel Mccleoud, a young man mentored by Bob Proctor that is a business and mindset consultant at the moment. He's very knowledgeable and he's got a very interesting story. Today we're going to navigate the story of how he turned himself from a council estate kid smoking weed all the time, suffering with paranoia and other mental health issues, to becoming one of the 1% of Bob Proctor's students, teaching new people Bob Proctor's secrets. So join us and let's navigate through this together.
So first of all, I am Joel Mccleoud and born and bred Mancunian. You know, I was born on a council estate in Manchester called Openshaw. Grew up there, went to Wright Robinson Sports College. Always grew up with my nana as well. I don't want to say I was like a favourite, grandchild, but my nana always, every place she moved, she'd have like a 2-bedroom house, and the second room was always mine. And because no one else was there, I had 2 sisters on my mum's side, right? And because no one else, my mum's house was just arguments and bickering, so I'd always find myself being with Nana. So I grew up, playing football, even had like trials for the city and stuff like that. And then once I got into high school, I probably started mixing with the wrong crowd, product of my environment for sure. So I started smoking cannabis at a very early age.
Right.
Mum smoked weed. Dad smoked weed. Stepdad smoked weed. Everyone around me smoked weed, right? So it was just natural for product of my environment for me to start smoking
and normality, weed.
Yeah, 100%, right? It's all I knew. Do you know what I mean? Even though your parents would say don't smoke and stuff, you don't really.
Well, you do it.
Yeah, you don't follow what they say, you follow what they do, right? So I probably started smoking weed at about 13, hanging out with the wrong crowd in school. And then at about 13, I think it was 13, year 9, when I was in Wright Robbie, I got kicked out. Got caught.
13?
13, I got caught smoking weed, right? Funny story, I got caught smoking weed, and I was with this other guy who's called Michael, ginger guy. And the teacher seen us. Yeah. He was like, wait there. And like an idiot, I waited there, right?
You should have not waited there.
Yeah, no, but I did. But the thing is, I'd smoked, and it was probably like only like my 10th time I've smoked, right? And I'm not sure if you've ever smoked, but when you first start smoking, like, you get like super high.
Yeah.
But this Michael's not smoked.
Yeah.
So they've sent us both to the year office. Yeah. Right? And we've got to the year office, we've gone in, and he's like, who's been smoking? It stinks. I was like, I've not been smoking. Michael's adamant, Miss, I've not been smoking, right?
Yeah.
We had this teacher as well called Miss McDonough.
Yeah.
She had like this big bum. Like she was incredible. We was all obsessed with her, right? But she was strict. So we've gone to the year office. It was like, right, wait outside. And right, Rob, they used to make you face the wall and wait.
Yeah.
As I'm facing the wall waiting outside though, it just hit me like I'm so high and I can't even keep my eyes open. So they brought us back into the year office.
Yeah.
This Michael who's not smoked is still adamant. I've not smoked. The teacher just walked up to me. It felt like it was in slow motion. And she's looked me in the eye. She's like, you've been smoking. I couldn't even say anything. I was so high.
Yeah.
So from that day on, I got kicked out, and then I was going from like project, we call them projects, right? But they're not really the best anyway, because you're around other kids that smoke. You know, you just get to play pool all day. And just do what you want, right?
It's not the right,
Right.
rehabilitation.
Yeah, exactly. So from that point on, I just getting up to mischief. Then I got into selling cannabis, growing cannabis, and just being on the streets doing nothing, probably up until about the age of 19. And then I got into gas and electric. So someone came to my mum's house, and he's called Baz, actually, a great guy. I still speak to him today. And he changed my mum's gas and electric over.
Yeah.
And my mum was like, my son might enjoy to do this.
Yeah.
And he said, well, pass his details on. And I went, like, it was an office in town. They was all in suits like this. Yeah. And I went there for an interview. I had an afro. Yeah. I had it tied back in a bobble with a cap on and, like, looking like some, like, mini gangster, right? And for some reason, they hired me. So I'd done that for, like, 8 months, maybe a year. Really enjoyed it.
They ignored the stereotype.
Yeah. But then I started, like, wearing suits and stuff, right? But then after a while, probably about a year, I went back to the streets, and then I got into modeling. Yeah. So my mum put on Facebook, is any photographers, would anyone take pictures of my son? Yeah. And this lady was studying, I believe it was at Salford University. I met her in town. She come and took some pictures of me. I had my hair cut at this time, so I was looking a bit more handsome. Yeah. I was feeling myself. Yeah. I got the pictures back off her, and I decided to apply online for some agencies. Mm-hmm. And the first one that I went to meet was an agency called Nemesis Models. Yeah. And they signed me. They wanted to sign me there and then. And it's a really established agency. The owner's he's a great guy. He's really helped me a lot. He's called Nigel Martin Smith. Mm-hmm. And he actually formed the band Take That. Yeah. Nigel. So he's helped me so much. So from probably like the age of 19, 20, I started seeing the world a bit, getting phone calls to go and see Versace in Milan for castings, working with New Balance.
So you work with quite a few.
I've worked with many brands, Dolce & Gabbana, loads of brands. And maybe about a year into modeling, for some reason, I picked up a book. And the first book I picked up was Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, I read that.
You read it, yeah?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
I read it and I listened to it.
Yeah. It's a great book. I don't know what made me pick it up, though. And at this time, I got into a relationship with a great woman as well, who's the mother of my children. Mm-hmm. And maybe I started picking up books and thinking differently because I moved out of Openshaw around
yes, moving out of your environment can definitely help. Like I said, again, people should always be aware that your decisions are crucial to what your future is going to be. You see, because us coming from Romania, every area was not the best, like in the communist time when I grew up in. So everyone had to make sure they made the right decision. We had no one, we didn't know anything else. We had no one to blame. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we had to focus. So again, moving out, if you think that's affecting you, or cutting people off if you want to stay in the same place, that helps as well. But you mentioned the effect that cannabis had on you with your mental health and stuff. Yeah. What would you say that to people that are smoking cannabis and say, "Oh, it doesn't affect your mental health. Nothing happens."
Well, let me get to that. Right, as I was modeling, I was still smoking cannabis, and I came across books. I came across Think and Grow Rich. I came across Bob Proctor on YouTube. But I was still smoking cannabis, and also even though I was studying, how to earn money, it looked good to the outside. Like Joel's working for like. Dolce & Gabbana is, booking shoots with Nike, Stone Island. but I never made more than £15,000 in a year. And I had 2 kids, 15 grand in a year, right? My ex-partner used to like pay the rent. I felt like shit. So at this point, I'm still smoking weed, and then lockdown came. Now in lockdown, I don't believe I was smoking more weed than normal, but I was smoking weed and I was still reading books, but I was staying up late, so I weren't sleeping. And I weren't seeing my mum. The only person that was seeing me during lockdown, because we couldn't go near anyone, was my ex-partner, Maisie, right?
Right.
And she started to see things in my behavior that were a little bit different. I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
So one day, I just had a thought in my head that I'm just going to shave my head bald, right? I just, like, if anyone would ask me, even when I look back now, I just feel like shaving my head bald, right?
Yeah.
She was picking up on these behavioral patterns, and she was messaging my mum, look, I don't think, something's right with Joel.
Yeah.
And then my mum wasn't really taking it in because she'd not seen me. To know Maisie was around me, and she's a very aware woman, and, she had my best interest at heart. So it got to the point where I weren't sleeping. And then, I mean, fast forward a bit, when I look back now, I was having a psychotic episode. Right. But when you're having a psychotic episode, you don't think you're crazy. You think everyone else is crazy. That's the crazy thing about it, right? So it's funny because now I understand the mind and how it works. I was obsessing over these negative thoughts. So I had this thought in my head that, I mean, you've not seen Esme, my daughter, but she's my twin, right? She looks the spit of me, right? But I was sitting up late at night and I was having this thought of, what if she ain't mine, right? Now, we can all have crazy thoughts that flow into our mind, but it's the ones that we obsess over. And I've found now, if we tell ourselves a lie over and over again, we start to believe it. So I started to believe that Esme wasn't mine, and that my ex-partner was doing things that she shouldn't have. Jeez. It was all made up in my mind.
Torture. It must have been torture for you.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
To battle with things that you just created demons in your head.
100%. But then it got to the point where I wouldn't sleep, and then everyone I went to speak to, I'd see something in their eyes, and I'd be like, in my mind, I'd be like, they're in on it. And I don't even know what they was in on, right? Like, it was crazy, right? And when I look back now, it's still the same. So then I went to my nana's house with my mum and my nana, and I kept my mum and my nana up all night, like panicking, looking out the window, won't let them touch the phones, thought people was trying to, kidnap my daughter, thought people was coming to take me. And I remember it was lockdown, and we had super hot weather, and it was around like March, April. I think it was April or something like that. And I was still working out, going to the park and stuff. Now, it got to the point where I wouldn't sleep. I was at my nana's, and next thing, there's an ambulance outside, right? And my nana's out there with her dog Ruby, and my mum's out there, and I see an ambulance, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, oh,
what is this for?
Literally, like, is this for my nana? Is this for my mum?
Yeah, he's not well.
Yeah, who's not well? Like, and I thought like the ambulance was like not really ambulance, like undercover, like looking to like.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah, it was crazy in my mind, right? It was crazy. So the ambulance guys come. Obviously, they're asking me to go, and I was never violent in my psychotic episode, but I was very paranoid. I won't speak, and I just stay silent, right?
Yeah.
So because I didn't go, maybe I don't even know. Maybe it was a few hours later. Maybe it was a few days later. There's police there with the ambulance. Now, the policeman's come up to me. He must have seen I weren't well, right? Because he was very polite. He came up to me and he said, look, I don't want to force you to get in this ambulance, but you've got to come with us.
Yeah.
Right? So I went. They took me in an ambulance. They took me to St. Mary's Hospital. Right. And then when I was in St. Mary's Hospital, they put me in a room, right? Yeah. And it's funny because anyone that's watching this that has been through a psychotic episode, you'll know what I mean. I'm completely sane. I don't smoke weed now. I don't drink alcohol. I help people develop their mindset, right? But when I look back, everything still feels real. So I was sat in the hospital, and you remember in school the ceiling had them like squares. If you wanted to push it, you could push it. Polystyrene, right? I'm sat there, and I'm looking at them, and they're moving. They're moving. Yeah. Right? And I'm thinking people are coming through the roof to get me. Right? So I walked out the hospital. Oh, fuck this. I'm going. I ain't staying here.
Jeez.
So I've walked all the way from Longside. I used to live in Crumsall.
Yeah.
So I've walked. It was so hot on that day. I've not ate for days. I've been up drinking Red Bulls. Yeah. I'm smoking weed. I'm having these THC vape pens. And I walked all the way from Longside to Crumsall. It was like an hour walk. It was scorching in a big bubble coat. And I've knocked on my ex-partner, the mother of my children. I've knocked on the door like, Maisie, right? And she were in. Yeah. She's gone to live with a friend. This is how like bad it was, right?
Right.
Next thing, my next door neighbors come out, and it was like a communal entrance. It was a flat. He's gone to the front door, and about 7 police officers have just grabbed me, put me in the van, right? Now, looking back, if I would have stayed there and got help, I wouldn't have got sectioned, right? But when they take you to hospital and then you walk out and they can see that your actions and behaviors are not in your control, they can take authority out of your hands and they can section you, right?
Yeah.
So after I got in that van, the next few days are blank. I just remember waking up and I'm in a hospital. It's called Park House.
So they come and they picked you up and they sectioned you.
Yeah, but from that minute, I don't remember what happened. I remember waking up in a hospital. It's Park House.
Did they give you an injection or something when they...
I don't believe so.
No.
I don't believe so. I can't remember anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I remember blacking out, and then I'm in the hospital now. And it's Park House in Crumsall. And I'm looking at all these people.
Yeah.
And I'm still thinking...
Switch you off. Completely.
Yeah, I'm looking at all these people, and I'm still thinking... Why the fuck am I in here? These people look crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
I'm thinking, I'm thinking, these people are crazy. What am I doing in here, right? So then I used to smoke cigarettes at the time as well. And every time I smoked a cigarette, that same thing would happen where I'd go dizzy and the ceilings would start moving. But in them hospitals, they allow you to have your phone. So I'd be on the phone to my ex-partner. And I'd be like, they're putting something in my cigarettes. They're putting something in my cigarettes, right? Yeah. And Park House, where it is, the hospital, you can't get out of it. It's like it's literally like a prison. And at the back of it is a big park.
Right.
I remember when I said it was summer, right? I locked myself into a kitchen, right? Locked myself into a kitchen. I thought people was trying to come through the walls, and I'm hearing someone screaming outside. And it was a hot summer's day, and I was hearing like a grave digger, right? I was hearing a grave digger. I genuinely believed in my mind that he was making a grave for my daughter. I genuinely believed that, right? Nice. Looking back now, it was just a park at the back of the hospital. And it was a hot summer day, and it was the guy doing the lawn mowing, right? It's crazy.
I'm hearing stuff like this from people, and this is why sometimes I can't be judgmental towards people with depression or people that kill themselves do you know what I mean? Because I'm thinking, they've done this, they left children behind, they suffered, but I think it's all bullshit, it's all in your mind. But the more I spoke to people and the more I realized that it's an actual issue that if people don't get help in time or they don't figure out
100%.
And they don't get told on time that they have an issue, it kind of end up in a bad way.
Well, look, what happened to me was a cannabis-induced psychosis, right? They sectioned me for 21 days. I'm telling you right now, every single person in this world is 7 days away from that happening. If you do not sleep for 7 days, anyone's going into a psychosis.
How do you not sleep with cannabis? Do you know what I mean?
Because you're manic.
You become manic.
You become manic. Yeah, you become manic. Right, I'm not an expert on that type of stuff in terms of the psychosis and stuff, and I don't intend to be. All I know is just
for sharing and entertainment purposes. Whoever feels the need to go and see someone, don't take this. This is just a story and entertainment.
100%. I'm just sharing my life experience.
We're sharing it to help people, and if you feeling unwell, go and see someone.
100%. Yeah. So then it was lockdown. So they allowed when I started getting better, they was allowing me to go out and see my daughter, but because it was lockdown, you had to stay 2 meters apart, right?
Right, yeah.
And then when I got out, I was still a bit paranoid, but I started getting better. And one thing that I did is I'd done exactly what the doctors told me to do.
So you listened. Finally, you listened.
I didn't go back to cannabis.
Yeah.
I didn't go back to cannabis. I met with my doctor frequently. I had a support worker, an amazing man who helped me out so much called Rob. He'd come and see me every week. Every week. How have you been? How you doing? When I first got out, my anxiety was that bad. Thinking about modeling, thinking about getting on a plane, thinking about doing any of that, I was like, I could never get on a plane. My anxiety was through the roof, right?
So there is help out there.
100%.
There is. People
100%.
that say, oh, no one's helping.
No,
there's no
100%.
help out there. There is help out there.
There is help out there, but there's a great quote, right? When the student's ready, the teacher will appear.
Yeah.
You've got to want the help. That's the main thing. When the student's ready, the teacher always appears. So I started doing the right things, and then I started getting better.
Right.
I started getting better. And then I started picking up books again. I started reading about the mind. And when I was better, I was still kind of pissed off what was happening within my life, because I was still making £15,000 a year. You know, I had a son, Elijah. He's free now. He was on the way. And I was still broke, you know, and I hated modeling. I didn't like it. I had no purpose. I had no goal. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So I came across a man on called Bob Proctor on YouTube, and I came across the book called Think and Grow Rich, right? And Bob was talking about how if you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand, right? And when I first started hearing, you know, thoughts become things, manifestation, like I thought, like, this is like some bullshit. Fairy tale, right? But the truth always resonates, and for some reason, I kept listening to Bob. And something told me, something told me what he's speaking about is right. Something told me that. So I kept studying it. One thing Bob taught me is to get your goal on a goal card and write it down in present tense, a specific goal, and carry it everywhere with you. So I was doing all of this. I was doing affirmations. I was, you know, meditating, visualizing, and I'd done this all the way up until, say, about 2.5 years ago, and my income still didn't change. So that pissed me off more, because I'd read more books, I knew more about it, but my results still weren't changing. So I thought, what's going on? And people was reaching out saying, look, we can help you. You know, I was like, no, I don't need help. I can watch Bob on YouTube. You know, I can read the books. Like, I've got all the information. It's going to happen, right? Got to a point where I thought, I need help. I need help. I'm saying at this point, though, but I need help with understanding how to implement all of this material.
All this knowledge, because I know all this. I've got all these tools.
100%.
But no idea how to use them.
Right?
Yes,
and I don't give a fuck about knowledge. I care about the result. I want the result. So I reached out to Bob Proctor's team, and this guy called me, Cam, great guy, amazing guy from, I believe he's from Canada. And he's like, well, you know, Joel, what's your goal? And I was like, I want money.
And I want things moving, because it's not moving.
But at the time, I mean, looking back, I thought money would fix all your problems, right? Money don't fix all your problems. But at the time when you've got no money, you think, if I've got money, it's going to fix my problems. So he said, well, how much money do you want to make? And I said, I would love to make £25,000. And he said on the phone, he said, that's a terrible goal. He said, you already know how to make £15,000. He said to me, right, if I would have been drinking at the time, I would have spat whatever was in my mouth out. He said, why don't you focus on turning your yearly income into a monthly income, right? I didn't believe that was possible, but he said it with so much confidence. I didn't believe it, but I believed that he believed it. And I was losing, so I thought, what's the worst that can happen? So he told me about this program that I could go through. It's a 12-month program. And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to do it, but I don't have the money. And this is where he taught me about decision making. He said, you never need the money until you make the decision. He said, when you want something enough, you'll always find the money.
Crackers find money every day.
Exactly. Because they really want that drug.
They
really want the drug. And I really wanted to change. So I believe I had like £1,700 in Ethereum or Bitcoin. And I said, do you have a payment plan? Because the program was like $10,000. He's like, yeah, we can help you with a payment plan. I didn't know I was going to pay the rest of the money, but I said, right, there's the deposit. One thing that he taught me is what I said about the gold card. I wrote down on the gold card, I am so happy and grateful now that I've turned my yearly income into a monthly income, because that's what he told me to do, right? And he said, read it as many times as you can. Keep reading it. Now, what I found is beforehand, I was always thinking about debt. I was always thinking about not having enough, right? So by reading this goal card, it got me thinking about money.
Yes.
Right? So now I'm thinking about money. I'm thinking, wow, what would it actually be like to earn £15,000 a year? What would that really be like?
Month.
A month. Sorry, a year. Yeah. Sorry, a month. Yeah. I was earning 15K a year.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it a month.
15,000 a month.
Yeah. So one day I'm sat in bed and I'm going through, this self-development and business building program. Bearing in mind, I got kicked out of school at 13. I didn't know nothing about businesses. I didn't know nothing about sales. I knew nothing. And I was sat in bed. I kept thinking about this money. Now, what I've later realized is when you think about something, you will start attracting ideas on how to manifest it, right? Yeah. You don't think about money and it falls on your lap. No. You attract ideas because you're on the same vibration as that money. I had this thought come into my mind. I'm going to build an online fitness company that operates all around the world. It just came into my mind. It was like this voice. I'm going to build an online fitness company that operates all around the world, right? I didn't have no clue how to do it. I didn't have an absolute clue. So I started thinking, okay, well, I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I just know I'm going to do it. And that is really the key. Most people don't set big goals because they don't know how to do it. You're not going to fucking know how to do it. If you knew how to do it, you would have already done it. That's what they taught me, right?
Yeah.
You need to know what you want. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
You need to be specific with what you want. So my sister's boyfriend, Damien, he wanted to get in shape.
Right.
So I said to him, look, I'll help you get in shape, right? You've got to donate £100 to a charity of your choice. And at the end of the 6 months, I'll do it completely free, but I want a before and after photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that and I started doing that for a few people. And then I started charging people, right? So
did you know about sports and stuff?
No, I only knew how to get myself in shape. I didn't have no personal training qualifications, nothing. I just knew. I had to, don't get me wrong, I had to develop a skill set. I had to look into, calorie deficits if a person wants to lose body fat, how much protein they should eat, meal plans, compound exercises, all that type of stuff. I had to develop my skill set.
Yeah.
The money started coming in. I'm just showing up on Instagram, showing up on social media, telling people how to get in shape. And if they need help, then book a one-to-one call with me.
And they started booking.
So people started booking calls.
Yeah.
I'd find out, what the goal was. I'd find out what the struggles were. Yeah. And I'd show them the solution. Look, I'll give you the meal plan. I'll give you the training plan. And we'll have a check-in every single week to make sure that you're on track.
Beautiful.
Next thing, I'm charging people £319.99 a month for a 6-month program. Or they could pay in full and they'd save a bit. It was $1,500.
Yeah.
I was selling every day.
Yeah.
Every day. So in 5.5 months, my income, I was bringing in cash collected £18,000 a month.
Beautiful.
Right? So looking back on what I had on that goal card, I was like, over. So I'm like, wow, this material works, right?
Yeah.
Now, I could tell someone how to go and build an online fitness company.
Yeah.
The strategy is not the reason. It was the mindset behind it.
You went there believing. That's it.
100%. It was because I was so fused with this financial goal.
Well, it didn't go far from your believing goal. Do you see how the energy keeps you into that circle? You could have been 14,000 or 18. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your energy and your target is close to where your focus is.
There we go.
So you went just about over.
Just about over. Right? So here I am. Little old Joel from a fucking council estate.
Yeah.
Grew up
psychotic.
grew up all of his childhood visiting his dad in strange ways, going strange ways every week.
Yeah.
Taking my dad new clothes, taking him earrings, whatever he wanted, right? Here I am making 18K a month.
Yeah.
I'm in Disneyland with my kids. I'm in Portugal with my kids. I'm in Dubai with my kids. I'm sat down, I'm like, my son's 1 and he's in Dubai.
Yeah.
You would have asked my mum what Dubai was 10 years ago. She would have said, she wouldn't have even knew that existed.
Yeah.
Right? We never went on holidays, anything like that. So I'm sat in this beautiful apartment on like the 60th floor thinking, wow.
What happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
And I knew what happened. I'd been studying me every single day. I've been studying me, how powerful I am. how my thoughts create my feelings, how my feelings create my actions, and how those actions create results, right? I knew I reprogrammed my subconscious mind. So I'm even in, Salt Bay.
Yeah.
I'm spending like £600 on a steak in Salt Bay, and I'm just like, this is great. Like, bro, I used to beg my mum when I was younger. My mum used to get child benefits for us.
Yeah.
And I get £60 a month. I used to beg my mum for that money. Then I'd go town and I'd buy a pair of trainers for 60 quid. Like a few mouthfuls of food, and you're paying £600 for a bill. I'm like, wow. So I was sat in bed, and I knew it was from this material. I knew it was from studying this program.
It shifted your mind, but you also wanted it. You see, what would you tell these people? Because what you're saying is the recipe, but it includes actions. But I've seen half of the single mom council estate people now. They come across The Secret, the book, The Secret. They read that, sat there doing nothing all day, and expect that the life they're going to change just because they read The Secret. Do you know what I mean? The Secret is not really the secret. It's one fraction of The Secret.
It's one fraction, right? My mentor, Bob Proctor, played a huge part in The Secret. And now I'm top 1% of Bob Proctor's consultants, right?
Right.
But let me explain what happened, and we'll go into The Secret.
Yes.
Right? I was sat in Dubai, and I was making 18K a month.
Right.
And I'm thinking, wow, this material has changed my life.
Right.
And I felt this innate, I felt guided. I had that voice again, that the same voice that came into my mind, go and build an online fitness company. Right. It was the same voice, go and work with Bob. You want to go and teach people this. People need to experience what you've experienced, Joel.
Yes.
So I ran cam again. I was in Dubai. It was 2 a.m.
I think that's what makes you special for doing the job you do, because you've gone through the process.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If someone comes to you and say, I'm lost, I don't know how to tap into certain things, at least I'd rather take advice of someone that's been through it than just someone that just landed on it.
1,000%.
Do you know what I mean?
1,000%.
You won't understand the process as you probably do now at this point.
1,000%. Because when I got into this material, like I said, I went through the program as a client, and then I started making all of this money, and I got that voice, go and work with Bob. I didn't know how to work with Bob. I ran cam. It was 2 a.m. in Dubai. He's from Canada, so it was probably early afternoon. And I said, look, how do I teach this material? And he said, well, you can become a consultant. It's not going to be easy. Like, you've got to get certified. You've got to go through your training. You got to make sure that you can facilitate this program correctly to your clients, right? I said, I'm in. How much is it?
Sign me up.
How much is it? He said, a price. Same thing happened again. I didn't have that money. Yeah. Right. It was a lot. It was back then. It was a large amount of money. We're talking, $33,000, like boom, in one, right? But I knew I didn't need the money. I knew I needed to really want it.
Yeah.
So I said, right, I'm doing it. Right, I'm going to find the money. Went out, found the money, and that's when I became a certified consultant for Bob Proctor's company.
Right.
And I've helped countless. I've had people come to me that have been down and out, had to sell the house. They've not spoke to, one of my clients, I won't say his name, but he didn't speak to his daughter for 20 years. Now he's built an absolutely amazing business. He's back into contact with his daughter. He sends me messages like, I've just made 30,000 in a day. I've signed a contract for like 130K. It's ridiculous how this material works, right? So
the material and the belief systems and the faith and is a whole system that it comes into this material.
Yeah. Well, the program I take people through, it develops your belief system, because you can't outperform your belief system, right? Yeah. Well, let's touch on the secret,
Tell
right?
Me the secret,
because
the secret,
the secret misses one thing, right? Action, right? And also, it's the law of attraction. Okay, we've got certain laws that govern this universe. I don't care if you believe in God, if you're an atheist, there is certain laws that govern this universe, right? One of them is the law of gravity, right? So every time I drop this, right?
This falls.
Yeah, exactly. So we can call it God, we can call it energy, we can call it the universe. Something bigger than us created that law. We can't change it. All we can do is work in harmony with it, right?
Yes, correct.
There's certain other laws, the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of receiving, the law of cause and effect, law of circulation, right? Most people, what they do is they make a bit of money and they hold on to it. They hold on to it
Saving it,
tightly, right?
Yeah,
But okay,
yeah.
what happens to our body if our blood stops circulating? We die, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens to your money. Money's got to circulate. I circulate so much. I provide for this person, give to charity. Let me circulate money because I know it comes back.
Yeah, exactly,
right?
yeah.
Circulation. But
That's why it's designed to. You lose it. That's why inflation takes over it, because people make the money, they keep it, and the inflation takes my money, because money is not designed to be kept. So if you keep
designed
it,
to be circulated.
if you keep it, you're gonna lose it.
100%. So now with The Secret, right? And The Secret is, I'm grateful for it because it's helped so many people, but it focuses on the law of attraction, right? But the law of attraction is a secondary law. The law of vibration is actually the primary law, because it's the vibration that your body's in that's dictating what you attract, right? Now, here's where action comes into play.
So people, before reading the Secret, they need to learn about the law of vibration first.
They want to come and watch my YouTube.
Yeah, come back to the law of vibration first.
100%.
Get knowledge on that, and then move to the Secret.
Yeah, like the law of attraction is a law of the universe. Like, we can only attract what we're in harmony with.
Yes.
That's very true, right? Like in the gym, I attracted you, you attracted me.
Yeah.
Right? But I always say, look, our thoughts, they bring things towards us. They really do, right?
However,
100%. It's through our actions that we receive it.
Right.
So this is where a lot of business owners, a lot of people, they go, okay, well, enough of that thinking stuff, manifestation stuff, because it's my actions within my company that are producing my results. Absolutely, I 1000% agree, right? Your results come from your actions. But now we got to go deeper and say, well, where do our actions come from? Well, our actions come from what we're emotionally involved with our feelings.
Exactly.
And our feelings come from our thinking. Exactly. So if we want to change our results, we've got to go to the primary cause, which is our thinking. Okay. Now, if there's anyone out there, I can tell you exactly what depression is. I can tell you exactly what depression is.
I have my own understanding of it. I'm curious to see what your understanding of depression is.
Okay, right. We got two ends to the spectrum. I should have brought the stick person as well. I should have brought the figure to show you.
I've seen it. I love that stick. I've seen it on your video. I've watched it a couple of times on a couple of videos. I'm like, where did he get this from? I could do with having one.
Yeah, it's amazing. I can give you the link to them as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got two ends to the spectrum, right? There's another law of the universe called the law of opposites. So that means positive, negative, up, down, left, right, black, white, night, day, rain, sun, right?
Yin and yang.
Yin and yang. For every negative, there's a positive. Right? Now, this is why we've got to understand our mind properly. You see, when most people think of the mind, depression is a mind thing. So if we're going to fix it, we need an image of the mind, because we think in pictures. Go and ask the next 100 people, what does your mind look like? They're going to try and tell you, I don't know, your brain. Your brain's not your mind more than your fingernail is, right? If I get a knife and cut open your body and start looking in it, I won't find your mind. I'll find your brain.
Exactly. You're thinking.
Right?
I like that.
Your mind is an activity.
Yeah.
Okay? So we need an image of the mind to work with, and that's where the stick person comes into play. If the people watching it want to see it, go over to my YouTube. I'm always using the stick person, because it shows you what's going on inside of you. Now remember, your outside world is showing you what's going on inside. So until we change what's going on inside, the outside isn't going to change.
Yeah, but the chemicals also affect physical chemicals.
Yeah.
Affect the way the mind works, and it alters the mind. So sometimes chemical imbalance in people's bodies.
100%. Then you need to go and see someone that specializes in that.
Sometimes chemical imbalances, sometimes chemical intakes, do you know what I mean? That can create chemical imbalance. That is a clinical issue that can go, but then there's spiritual imbalance in people's heads that 100%. Can create depression as well. And then things that they say to themselves, they constantly speak bad to their mind. 100%. And that seed grows and grows, and then the good mind just weakens and weakens and is just scared.
100%.
So there's that as well.
Most people walk... Listen, we have psychologists and psychiatrists are going to say there's many parts of the mind, right? And that might be true, right? I don't even care about that. we just focus on two parts. We've got our conscious mind and we've got our subconscious mind.
Yes.
Right? Our conscious mind is our thinking mind. Right?
The front cortex, they call it.
I call it the upper part of the mind.
Upper part,
right? And you got the lower part.
Yeah.
So conscious and then subconscious is below the conscious mind.
Yeah.
Right? So conscious mind is our thinking mind. Every single person watching this, including me, including you, has we have this inner mental conversation. So as you're watching this podcast right now, as you're listening to me, you have got a voice in your head that is on a continuous loop. That's your conscious mind. You can't stop speaking to yourself in your mind, just like you can't stop eating or drinking, right?
Yeah.
Now, we think with that, right? But our subconscious mind, we don't think with. That's our emotional mind, right? It's our feeling mind.
That's built in.
It's built in because when we come into this world, we don't have a conscious mind. We have a subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind controls the vibration of the body. And it's the vibration that you're in that's going to dictate what you attract, but it also controls your actions as well. Right? Makes sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So when a baby comes into this world, their subconscious mind is wide open. They have no ability to reject. That's why you can get a baby that's 4 years old, and it can. There's babies out there that are 4 years old and can speak 5 languages. Super easy. As adults, let an adult go to China and try and learn Chinese. It's going to be very difficult because the programming is already set.
Right.
So when we're younger, if we've had, upbringings where our parents were telling us, you're never going to amount to anything, you're not good enough, those ideas become fixed in the subconscious mind. They control our behavior. We act like we're not good enough, and we also attract them certain similar conditions as well. But let's go back to depression, right? We have a bipolar opposite to everything.
Yeah.
Right? Now, with the mind, we have 2 ends to the spectrum.
Right.
We have knowledge
Yeah.
and we have ignorance.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Growing up, I thought ignorance meant that a person's rude. That's not the real definition of ignorance. The real definition of ignorance is not knowing. So, for example, I am ignorant when it comes to fixing an engine, and I plan on staying that way.
Yeah.
Right?
Planning on staying.
Yeah, fixing lights and all. I'm gonna stay ignorant. I plan on staying that way. But ignorant just means that you don't know. Right?
Yeah.
There's one thing that we should never be ignorant with, and that's how we work. Our mind, right? So if a person does not know how their mind works, how their thoughts produce feelings, feelings produce actions, and actions produce results, then they're going to be ignorant. So let's go down to the ignorant side of it.
Yeah.
Ignorance means that we don't know, right?
Correct.
So when a person starts feeling these negative thoughts and stuff, right, on a conscious level, they start to worry and doubt.
Yes.
Is something wrong with me? That worry and doubt, right?
Is there something wrong with me? That's the question that they're all asking.
100%, but that's on a conscious level. Remember, I said conscious mind thinks, is there something wrong with me? Is there something different with me? Am I not good enough? Does this person not like me? They start worrying and doubting, right? Subconscious mind feels. So that worry and doubt is on a conscious level. It registers on a subconscious level as an emotion, and that emotion is called fear.
Right.
Okay? Fear expresses itself through the body, right? Anything that's going on in the mind, whatever's impressed must be expressed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the worry and doubt on a conscious level registers as an emotion called fear on a subconscious level.
Right.
Okay? That fear expresses itself through the body, and we call that anxiety. Okay?
Yeah.
Anxiety, we don't express anxiety, we suppress it.
Yeah,
Right?
It builds up.
Okay? And that suppression turns into depression.
Right.
Right? Depression is just anger turned inwards. A person doesn't understand how their mind operates, right? Now, that depression, if you stay in the depression long enough, it turns into disease. But we've got to put a hyphen in that. Dis-ease. It's a body that's not at ease.
Issue in
Disease.
the tissue. Yeah. It becomes issue in the tissue. Like the mental issues that you have and all the oppressed feelings becomes visible in the tissue, and then you start limping, you start getting
100%
aches everywhere, and you don't know why.
100%.
Yeah.
I want to make sure everyone really understands what I've just said, right? If you don't know and understand how your mind works, you're going to start to worry and doubt on a conscious level. It registers on a subconscious level as fear. That fear expresses itself through the body in a physical symptom, which we call anxiety, right? Anxiety is turned into suppression. We suppress anxiety, Okay,
Yeah.
that suppression turns into depression. That depression turns into disease.
Disease, yeah.
Right? It's your body's not at ease.
Yeah.
Dis-ease.
Yeah.
You get disease within the body, and if you have disease in the body long enough, it turns into disintegration.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing about everything that I've just said, the law of opposites, we have the opposite, right? The opposite to ignorance is to knowledge, is knowledge. Do you know the only way that you can gain knowledge is through study? It's the only way. If I want to become knowledgeable on how to tune a car and how to tune an engine, I have to study. I have to maybe get a mentor that's a mechanic, show me what to do. I might have to take a course. I might have to watch YouTube videos. Once I understand, then things are going to work out, right? So we want to become knowledgeable on how our mind works. Once you start to study your mind, you understand the relationship between the conscious, the subconscious, and the body and your results.
Yeah.
When you start to study, a great book for you to start with is by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. I read that book every single day. It's a game changer, right? But when you start to gain knowledge through study, when you study, that turns into understanding on a conscious level, which is the opposite to worry and doubt. The opposite to worry and doubt.
You can scan your feelings. You can scan why.
Okay.
I feel like this because that reason I need to twitch there.
There we go.
And then you're in control of the whole ship.
100%.
Other than being on autopilot and there's waves everywhere.
Correct. Yeah. So when you read something or when you study how your mind works through knowledge, you get it through study. Once you study, once you learn how you operate, how thoughts become things, you start to understand on a conscious level. I get it now, okay? That understanding leads on a subconscious level to the emotion, which is the opposite of fear, which is faith.